Okay, what's up, guys? This is Ayud. It is day 4 now of me recording. Today I got a lot of things going on. I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna work out and get my meal prep done. Right now, I'm gonna go head out to Wegmans, get some meal prep done. I was just editing the past 3 videos. I didn't record one of the days. Kind of made a rule. If I miss one day, that's fine. If I miss two, I'm just gonna delete all the videos. That way, like I have to do it. It's like an ultimatum. But yeah, so I've been doing pretty good. I'm down 3 pounds, and just relaxing. Just I've been spending time with some friends and enjoying my work. I've been front loading my days recently, and it's been a huge help. I think front loading your work and getting it out of the way is definitely beneficial for overall, mindfulness. Getting all that stuff that you have, all the stuff that you don't like doing, you have to do it anyway, so you might as well get it done at the start of the day, right? And I guess today is going to be more of a lesson video because I really don't have much to say about myself. I feel like I've been doing really good for myself, at least for the past like 4 or 5 days. Like, I've been doing really good, so I've been consistent. I've never recorded this much. I've never been doing this much for myself, and I have before, like in my, like a couple of years ago, I was probably doing the best I ever did. And I kind of talked about that in the last video. But now I feel like where I'm at, I'm kind of like just in the process of, I know everything I need to do. I just need to do it. So I'm getting to the point where, you know, I know that I need to go to the gym every day. Now it's just a thing of time. I know that I need to eat healthy every day. So now it's just a thing of time. Um, and it sucks because I really wanted to like get to the point of where I could, tell people about this while I was trying to get there. But the paradox of that is that I was not in a position where I felt like I could record every day, or I was too lazy to record every day. And it's weird because it's like, it's almost like a bamboo shoot. Like one of these days, when I read James Clear's Atomic Habits, which I think is one of the best books I've ever read outside of Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, one of the main things he talks about is how out of the four, or, let's say you did something, for, 4 or 5 days, like let's say out of the 5 days of a week, you wanted to get better at going to the gym. Once you start changing your environment and stuff, right? There's kind of this feeling that you get where, once you start doing good in one part of your life, and I think it's called the Diderot effect, where, there was a guy who made the encyclopedia, and the Queen of England liked his encyclopedia so much that she gave him, I think, what in today's world would be around like $3-4 million, and he was like a really poor dude. So he was able to take that $3-4 million and buy himself. He bought one nice thing for himself. But once he bought that one nice thing, the rest of his environment, like it didn't melt, right? It's like if you lived in a really crappy neighborhood and you had a Lamborghini, you wouldn't want that, right? You would want to have the Lamborghini and the nice house and, everything that comes along with it. It's a lifestyle change. So I think specifically when it comes to like going to the gym or reading or taking time for your mental health, when you take a moment to just adjust and get one thing changed, everything else will change with it. So for me, a big thing has been sleep. I think changing my sleep and also, taking care of my health as a whole. This is the most I've ever been prodded and poked by doctors in my entire life. This year, I went to over like 4 or 5 different appointments for, my feet, my lower back hurt. Eventually, I had some back pain after I gained some weight from, not working out. And then once I got back into it, I was able to, fix that. But it took me a lot. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of, like energy to go and do those changes. But once I did, and once I asked for that help and, I got it, it just made so much like of a difference. It made so much of a significant difference that now I feel like it's kind of just like you fake it till you make it. And then at a random day, all of a sudden you just feel like the person that you were pretending to be. And that goes and, it ebbs and flows, right? It comes back and forth. You're never always going to have days where you feel great. But, you know, when you go from someone who like literally has like 7 to 8 weeks of work that they've just lodged in the back of their head and they've procrastinated, and every day you just keep thinking about the dread of all that schoolwork, all that gym stuff. For me, like working with clients sucks sometimes. And like whatever, some people it's a job thing, some people it's a school thing. You want to build that business but you don't have time because you're stuck in this position. You want to get better at this instrument or learn that language and you can't. There's no time for wonder when you're stuck in the cycle of, mediocrity. And for most people, that's what keeps them, behind in life, right? You're going to stay doing this one thing that you think is good, right? Maybe maybe you like your job, maybe you don't, but no matter what, right? Like when you get that paycheck at the end of the day, it feels damn good, don't it? So, some people, they get that paycheck and, maybe they have a girlfriend or whatever and they're living a decently comfortable life and they stick to it. You stick to that decently comfortably life. You don't change because why would you? You have most of the things you need and, life is going to suck no matter what. So might as well just not try to go for those things that you're wondering about or thinking about, right? Maybe you can add it here and there, but I mean, especially if you're someone who's, kind of has like a lesser idea of who they are as a person, or someone who's not as confident, it's really easy to just go back into that mode of just being like, what, this thing it's just a small thing, I'm not going to care about it, right? It's just whatever, like I can learn that instrument later. But like, when is later is something I low-key had to ask myself. I didn't ask myself for that for a while, and I kind of got to a point where I was like, wow, I like, when is later? So if I could gist up all of the stuff I just said and kind of rambled about, it would be, when you change one thing, everything around you can change. It just takes time. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It just takes like a couple days of you being consistent in something. And my consistency didn't start after I started taking medication for my ADHD. My consistency didn't start, from me going and stepping my foot into that gym. It started from me deciding, hey, I'm just going to, I know I haven't done this before and it's been a while since I have, but I want to pick up that camera and start talking again. I know I haven't taken care of my health for a while, but I could just start right now and eat healthy. And I think a lot of us have taken our failures and seen them as, I don't know, I guess maybe I just started asking myself this, but like, I feel like whenever I finally start doing good again, because for a while in my life, I was cycling from doing really good to kind of good to bad to really bad, then really good again. And it would be this cycle of, running away from all my problems and doing everything I can to sprint the other direction past my issues. And then eventually I'd get tired because I was working on myself too hard and I would make a mistake and it would make me feel like shit. And then I would, drink and smoke or whatever, just spend time with my friends too much or play video games or eat junk food. Everybody has an issue or a vice. And I would just fall into those. And it kind of made me realize too, like, that a lot of the things that we do to kind of numb ourselves or that we do because we say it's fun, right? It's not fun. It just makes us feel better than doing nothing. It makes us feel better than feeling miserable. So instead of trying to change your problems or change the feeling of being miserable, you're hiding behind, Instagram Reels or, I'm not gonna say it, but other videos. But yeah, so it's really important, I think, to see that we're not just wasting our time by doing those things, but we're also just letting ourselves just get numb. And eventually that numbness kind of goes down, and at some point you just have a day where instead of feeling numb, all that shit you were doing just starts making you feel bad for the first time, and then you cycle back and you do the same thing. So it's about building systems that actually make you feel good. on a constant basis. It's not just about doing one thing or the other. It's about making sure that when you do make a mistake, you don't go, damn, all right, time to binge eat again if I messed up on my diet, or, oh, I didn't close this client. Maybe I should just quit my job, you know, whatever. Getting too hard on yourself is just that's not the right answer. If anything, we should just go, damn, I made a mistake. Time to double down, you know, let me take a quick breather and get back, you know? And I don't know why, like, I didn't do that for so long. I think it was also just like a lack of self-confidence, but I think it's just important to, be able to say this stuff. And even now, just recording outside, it's so like nerve-wracking for me. Being like kind of embarrassed, worried that someone's gonna see me or hear me or whatever. But at the same time, it's so important to just kind of like allow yourself to create things. You know, if you want to learn something, if you feel like you want to do something more than just, mediocrity, it's important to just try. And there is some people who have hobbies, like some of us play sports, some of us, do whatever. But sometimes you don't put your all into it because you're nervous that if you do, you're just going to mess up anyway. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people just have this issue. And I think it's just important to see that this is not, there's a guy that I listen to. His name is Malik Williams. He's got a YouTube channel. It's called Purpose Driven. And I got a hoodie from his channel because I don't even watch it that much anymore. I should. But something he said that really struck with me, that I would literally get that tattooed on me, is you can't get all out of life if you don't put all in life. So it's important to try to figure out how you can put all in life, because, you never know when it's going to be your last breath, right? And obviously, maybe that's something that comes with maturity. Obviously, like, if you're 15 or 16 or a teenager or, growing up, especially like a lot of young men, like, don't take life too seriously. But just because you're not taking it too seriously doesn't mean that you can't, put your all into it no matter what. If anything, maybe taking it less seriously will allow you to put your all into it because you'll be less stressed about making mistakes. So, it's pretty much my yap for the day. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll probably talk to you guys eventually soon again tomorrow. So I'll let you know what happens. And if I don't post a video, sorry. If I do post a video, that's awesome. But I'm not going to get on myself about it, right? We're just going to see what happens. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.